the Indiana Fever front office is in serious trouble for revealing some major information. Guys, how come I'm not seeing no scouts, bro? Where the scouting department? Do they even have a scouting department? You mean to tell me, as I look through this thing right here, y'all done made all the y'all done made, hold on.
Herb Simon thought assembling a talented roster alone would lead to a championship, letting results follow naturally. Instead, the Fever are left with empty promises, uncertain player moves, and a lack of a true winning culture. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, the league's brightest talent, can only witness the organization's internal struggles deepen.
Team that has blown double-digit leads all season long. We just lost to the goddamn Washington Mystics. Terrible, man. That is a bad basketball team. They got two young, rising stars. They're rookies. We got dominated by Sonia Citron and Kiki Ariafin. They was just taking math class and sociology and chemistry 3 months ago.
Fans pay top dollar to see Caitlin Clark shine, yet the team surrounding her falls far short of her caliber. The impact of Caitlin Clark is unmistakable, but it's being wasted. Under Herb Simon's ownership, the Fever's front office is already displaying clear signs of neglect, poor management, and an inability to construct a legitimate championship contender.
Bottom line, though, is Caitlin Clark is missing, and that is showing, and I think everybody is missing her, including myself. She has carved out this really big niche in the WNBA. A lot of fans have come to see her, and she unfortunately has just been plagued with injury after injury, and the Indiana Fever have had to try to tread water or keep afloat, and fans are trying not to lose hope until and if she returns, because Caitlin Clark is the reason that a lot of people, myself included, are just so drawn to the WNBA, so drawn to her play style. And I gotta say, I really feel for the...
Herb Simon has returned to his usual approach, making the Indiana Fever's leadership feel more like a let them figure it out experiment than a deliberate strategy. He rarely opens his wallet, yet the arena sells out before he even finishes tallying profits, thanks entirely to Caitlin Clark. Meanwhile, ownership treats the team like a vanity project, assuming money and luck can replace real effort and vision. The outcome is a franchise leaning heavily on its superstar to carry the entire operation. But the harsh reality is this: no matter how extraordinary Clark is, she can't win championships alone, and pretending she can is just setting the team up for mediocrity.
Process of building a $78 million practice facility, the Indiana Fever consistently draw over 16,000 fans to their home games. The Indiana Fever, amongst the top franchises in the league when it comes to merchandise sales. The Indiana Fever, now you know, marketing campaign. Kelly Krauskopf saying she wants to be the Apple of the WNBA. You would think, after all of these accolades, after all of the speculation, after all of the now you know, you'd think that we'd have a scouting department, right?
Herb Simon stepped into the Caitlin Clark era assuming success would come automatically, only to reveal how much he skimped on the infrastructure necessary for a championship team. The most frustrating part is the constant missed opportunities. Rather than investing in a first-rate scouting department, hiring top-tier coaches, and surrounding Clark with elite talent, the Fever relied on cheap decisions and superficial scouting. The result is a roster built on wishful thinking instead of a solid plan, wasting Clark's once-in-a-generation impact.
You lying to me. I think they merchandise sales was up like 300%. Y'all done made all them millions off CC Effect. And y'all ain't hired no damn scouts. Caitlin's in deep trouble. Oh, it's looking real spooky. You mean to tell me y'all done made all the millions, bro, sold all them damn jerseys, and y'all do not have a scouting department? What the fuck? You mean to tell me? Hold on. Are you serious?
Herb Simon eagerly poured money into flashy practice facilities, but ignored the human framework needed to truly scout talent. Some executives appeared completely lost about the players they were signing, hanging around agent meetings as if it were basketball's version of Woodstock, just hoping that a hint of smart decision-making might somehow rub off.
Chick, man. You're always picking up these random, dog. Like they're going to Walmart. Hey, yo, can you play? All right, I got you. Go on the team. Like, come on, man. Sick of these players. We're at the point where you just need a body. But I just hope she puts a better performance than Sims did, because Sims was god awful. Sims looked like she never played basketball before. She was horrible. Somehow we have Turner on the team. I don't get it. But yeah, this new player, I looked her up. Average 6.8 in college. Not impressive, man. I think
the Fever's scouting department is practically non-existent. Drop a resume in their office, and it would echo like an empty gym. Even the copy machine in accounting is louder than their so-called war room. Truthfully, they don't have a real scouting system, just a glorified suggestion box. While other teams build real infrastructure, Indiana scraps together fragments of competence from organizations that actually know how to operate. This isn't just negligence, it's organizational malpractice. Herb Simon has shifted from owner to liability, watching his team's potential slip away. At this point, the WNBA could almost owe him hazardous duty pay for the damage caused. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham is left to wonder why her veteran talent goes unused on the bench.
We lost by 1 point to them. The third quarter, they went on a 19-0 run. You hear me? Which put them up by 12. By the fourth quarter, they was up by 12 points. That's ridiculous. And then let me say this. What sense does it make for Stephanie Jigsaw White to take out Lexi and Sophie at the same time? You hear me? At the same time.
Sophie gets occasional starting minutes, often lost in questionable rotations that showcase the organization's dysfunction at halftime. But it gets truly disastrous when Caitlin Clark goes down. Suddenly, the Emperor has no clothes. The very player who transformed this franchise into a $78 million phenomenon, selling out arenas and turning the WNBA into must-watch TV, gets injured and the whole structure crumbles. Not because Clark wasn't phenomenal or fans weren't loyal, but because Herb Simon's front office built a Ferrari engine without brakes, steering, or transmission. They staked everything on Clark, leaving her to carry an incomplete machine.
Her rotations don't make no sense to me, and if it don't make sense to me, that allows me to think otherwise. She is fixing these games. The organization is in on it too as well. I'm sorry, at the end of the day, like I said, they just dragging us along to keep making money. Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC, she ain't coming back.
Consider what happened when Caitlin Clark suffered her groin injury. This wasn't just a minor setback, it was her third distinct injury of the season, each one revealing a harsh reality. The franchise never had a backup plan. The Fever went from being discussed as potential contenders to hastily signing 7-day contracts with players they hadn't even properly scouted.
We'd have some bodies that sole job, the sole purpose, their sole designation within this franchise is just to sit in a dark room watching hours and hours and hours of film of players overseas. You'd think at least that's what Apple would probably do, right? If Apple was running the Indiana Fever, they'd probably invest in something like that.
They signed a short-term deal, and head coach Stephanie White openly admitted she knew almost nothing about the player they just picked up. That's not roster management. It's fantasy basketball with real-world consequences. Meanwhile, seasoned veterans like Sophie Cunningham keep sitting and used on the bench.
Above it's seeing film, watching clips, talking to contacts and connections. Bree and especially has been super helpful in this. She's got a lot of contacts overseas who have seen Kyra, for example, play a lot overseas. Teammates that she's had that are over there that played with her.
The Indiana Fever are leaning entirely on Caitlin Clark, yet the front office has failed to build a proper roster or scouting system. Injuries exposed the franchise's lack of depth, leaving veterans like Sophie Cunningham underutilized while untested players are rushed in. Coaching missteps and poor rotations compound the problem, turning potential wins into losses. Ownership invests in flashy facilities, but ignores the infrastructure that creates champions. Clark's generational talent is being wasted amid organizational chaos. Without foresight, medical support, and strategic roster building, the team's championship window is slipping fast. The Fever must act now or risk losing both Clark's prime and fan trust.